Night of the Living Geeks.
Welcome to this week's LHG podcast. For this week, I'm your host, Taylor Hoyt. Next to me is Jake. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How about you?
I'm doing just dandy.
He's still jiggling.
Jake is still Jake is the jiggle master. To his left, Connor. How are you doing, sir?
I don't really want that name, you know.
Well, it's too bad. You're stuck with it now.
Yeah, when we invent new nicknames on the fly, it's kind of you just got to roll with it. You know? So, sorry, man. So yeah, what's up, dude? Connor here.
And rounding out the group, we've got Nick manning the station. Nick, how are you?
I am manning that station.
For those who don't know, we've got our little laptop and mixer board, so he's running it. And everybody thinks that's really funny for some reason. I don't know why. Was the caca that is what set you off?
I wasn't in there. All casual.
Just stop it.
Don't even care.
All right, so we're so here's what we're going to be doing this week. We are going to be talking about the phenomenon that is Pokemon Go. We've got ourselves a fun little video game draft game, and then we're going to be bringing back Roll With It. An oldie but a goodie. We haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah, we said that for like the last few episodes, or you still haven't done it.
Well, we're actually going to do it this week.
This time.
There's just like literally nothing to talk about. There's no video game news.
Besides the giant mobile game monolith that is Pokemon Go right now.
That is true. So
I'm really glad I got out of the hospital just in time to get here. I was ran through traffic trying to get a Geodude. So yeah.
So who here has played Pokemon Go? I've played bits here and there.
I play Pokemon Go.
Oh, okay.
Just to get the tense correct. Okay.
You don't play
He's
Pokemon
currently
Go.
trying to catch a Jigglypuff right now to fit with his title, you know.
You just hear him shouting from across the room instead.
Would you prefer to catch a Wigglytuff?
I can't believe it took me like a full 3 seconds to get what you were going for there. But so anyways, Pokemon Go. Taylor, you play. Jake, you play.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Nick is mad at anyone he plays.
I'm not.
I don't know that. That's my wild guess. That's my read.
That's your speculation.
Looking deep inside your soul, and I just see contempt.
Yes, whenever I see all these people having fun with this game, I'm like, you guys and your damn
How
game.
dare you have fun and be social?
I feel like you're joking, Nick, but I feel like that's not actually a joke. That's realistically something that you would do.
You're like
No.
55% kidding.
No.
So what do you
That's
think
all
about
kidding.
Pokemon Go?
Whatever. I have
Just-
no feelings about it. I don't really care.
And no feelings
He's
about the people who play.
completely
No.
neutral.
Well, remember, this
All
is the man who renounced multiplayer games.
Denounced.
Despite
You guys are never gonna let that go.
well, despite
Nope.
It's not letting it go.
You
It's,
did
it's
say
just
it,
it's what you know. It's what I mean. Unless you've changed your mind, Nick.
No.
Well, there you go.
well,
But
Yeah.
so I'll share kind of my first experience with the game. So last weekend I was in a downtown area with some friends getting dinner, and my friend was like, "Yeah, you should download it right now," because we were at this bakery and they had free Wi-Fi. So I downloaded the game and we were just walking around, and it was weird because literally, like, I felt like every single person in downtown had their phones out trying to catch Pokemon.
Yeah.
We must have been like at a Pokestop, which is like place like these landmarks all over town that you can collect items like Pokeballs or potions or revives and stuff like that. Yeah, and it was just really cool. I mean, it's so fun to like walk around and catch them, and then like try to take over gyms with your friends and stuff like that. It's
so how much interaction do you actually have with, like, say, like someone's walking past you playing Pokemon Go at the same time? Like, do you automatically have some kind of interaction, or is it just like you're all trying to do the same thing?
Well, I've struck up a lot of conversations with people, and also just like little things of, I think one of my favorite things was outside a GameStop. There was someone put a lure, which I guess if we're explaining how the game works, because we're pretending like not everyone knows
I
all
don't
of this.
know
Oh,
how
okay.
all this stuff.
So you can put a lure on one of those Pokestops that he was talking about, and it makes it visible to everyone for 30 minutes as a place with a lure, which attracts Pokemon to the area.
Yeah.
So you hang out around there, and you'll get more Pokemon.
Right.
So there was one put on GameStop, which was a Pokestop, and
Fitting.
yeah, and so there was like maybe a dozen people or so just kind of hanging out around GameStop, and you could tell they're all in their groups, they're all looking at their phones. They're playing Pokemon Go.
obvious.
It's
Yeah.
not hard to tell.
And so
yeah.
it was just quiet for a little while, and I was like, hey, guys, I caught a Pikachu like right on the other side of the parking lot, and everyone looks up and they're like, what? Really? And I'm like, they're like, where? And I'm like, right on the corner there. And most of them just kind of run off to go catch it. And it's just like, and then they come back and they're still just talking. We just kind of, it's just fun. It's this community kind of thing. Like where it doesn't, you don't really need to introduce yourself as much as just acknowledge, okay, this is a person I'm really not going to create a friendship with, but it's someone we're just going to have a good time with right now. Like we're just going to say hi.
Exactly.
Until the team blood feuds begin.
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
blood starts to spill in the streets.
All you nerds need to stay inside and play your video games.
Yeah, vitamin D is horrible for you. Do not listen to what you've been told. It's a lie.
Yeah. Why go outside and be social?
Me
Just
personally,
stay inside.
I'm not a
Nerds.
Pokemon Go player, but I'm pretty ambivalent about it. But I did decide that I'm gonna sit this one out when I was driving, and basically there's a car on my left and a pack of people on the sidewalk to my right, like walking and obviously playing, and the guy in the car to my left rolls his window down and goes, "Pokemon!" to the people on the street, and they all just turn to him and go, "Yeah!" And I was just sitting there at the light, and I just went, I think I'll sit this one out. no hard
this one's
feelings.
not
This is
for
not
me.
something I want to introduce in my life
I'll
right
watch this
now.
one from the sidelines. That's all I got on that.
But like Jake was saying, like I had a fun little interaction too. So where my apartment complex is, down the street there's a church that serves as an in-game gym, and so I went over there, and like the guy that was like the gym master, what do you call him? Gym leader, thank you. And it was a pretty low level, and so I beat him, and I took over the gym, so I was the gym leader.
Was
and
he really upset?
They weren't there. So what happens is you
right,
take over the gym, and then you like leave your Pokemon there, and so people can challenge you whenever you feel like.
So do you leave your strongest, or do you leave like your middle
That's
strongest?
up to you.
You
Yeah.
usually want to leave your strongest. The thing is, if you're going to fight a lot of gyms, you can't use that Pokemon for other gym fights.
Right.
So, like, usually you want to leave your strongest if you want to lock it down, though.
The strength of the Pokemon you leave is according to like how important that gym may be
Right.
to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cool thing is that you can train at gyms and level them up, so you can have up 6 Pokemon from different trainers who can, like, of the same team. They can add their Pokemon to the roster. So if someone wants to fight that gym to beat it, they're going to actually go through all the Pokemon. So.
Okay.
But sorry, Taylor, what were you saying?
No, so it was funny. So I took over the gym. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna walk home, and then I saw this couple walk up, and they were clearly playing, and I was like just being silly. I'm like, wow, I'm the gym leader now. You have fun trying to beat me or something like that. And so I just watched him beat me, and it was fun. We were just chatting.
So I watched him beat me.
Well, because you can't like one-on-one fight. That's the one
Right.
like thing I wish they could have in this game is you can't one-on-one fight people. It's only like at these gyms.
You could just fight them with your fists.
I mean, I could.
You could have
Like,
stopped them, Taylor.
I know. I'm like, ha! I'll knock your phone down.
You may have defeated my Pokemon at the gym, but you will never defeat my Tiger style. Or Growlithe style?
Exactly, Growlithe, my Ponyta style.
I heard that Growlithe are exceedingly popular for their for how common they are and their strength.
Yeah, I see a lot of Growlithe as like the main
Arcanines.
Pokemon. Yeah, or Arcanines. Yeah, they're taking over gyms. Right now, my strongest is Pidgeot because I just catch so many damn Pidgeys. They're everywhere. And Rattatas and Spearows are like everywhere.
I just became annoyed from you just saying those names.
And
all
Zubats.
all in succession.
And Zubats. There's a lot of Zubats. But I've randomly okay. So Jake, what would you say is your rarest Pokemon that you've caught so far or evolved into?
Well, a lot of them come from the eggs because from some of the Pokestops
Oh, that's
you'll get
right.
an egg, and that's
You
have
gotta
to
walk it?
Yeah, exactly. You have to walk it to hatch it.
Just like the other games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where you get like the rarest because it doesn't matter your region or anything because normally it's like our region just doesn't have like for instance I've only found one like Doduo, right, but there's tons. I think like in Arizona that's their Pidgey. They just have tons of them, and so it's it's very different. But then the eggs, you can get it from any region or anything. So I've actually caught like a lot of water Pokemon from those. I have like a Psyduck and a Staryu.
Cool.
I got a Magikarp the other day.
Ooh, there you
so
go.
that's at least something, I guess.
Can you raise them to evolve?
So that's actually my biggest problem with the game is that if you catch, like, so for instance, I got my Psyduck and I'm like, this guy is going to be my champion. Like, he's going to be the guy that just beats everyone.
And doesn't even know he's beating
Right,
everyone.
yeah. So the issue, though, is that I have this one Psyduck, and to increase their power, you have to use this Stardust. I think that's what it's called, Stardust?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Stardust.
Is that what it's
air
called?
Quotes.
Anyway.
You know, that's what it's called. Yeah,
So
Stardust.
so you get Stardust, and you get a ton of that in general. So you can use that, or you can save up, whatever. So that's not a problem. But then you also need to power him up or to evolve him. You need Psyduck candy, and you get some of that from when you hatch the egg with them in it. So I had like 10, right? But it takes 1 every time you want to power him up, and it takes like 25 to evolve him. And that's it, though. You can only get candy when you get them. So
you have to keep getting more.
I have to catch more Psyducks,
right.
and I'm like, I can't. That was from an egg. It was a freak incident of me getting him. So there's no way that I'm going to
geographically like hamstrung.
I literally just can't evolve him, and that's what's annoying. It doesn't matter how many fights I use him in. It doesn't matter what. It's just I need the Psyduck candy, and there's no other way to get it other than catching more Psyducks.
So you're telling me that to catch them all and become the Pokemon Master, you're going to need a helicopter.
You have to you have to catch them all like 100 times.
Yeah. I see what you're
And it's
saying.
just frustrating because it's like I would love to play Pokemon, raise this guy and make him badass, but there's no way to do that without catching tons of them.
Different experience.
And the issue is that if I catch another one at the level that I'm at now, it'll probably be stronger than the one that I've already spent all this candy powering up anyway. So it's kind of the system's a little bit janky. It's definitely, I mean,
flawed.
It's super early.
Yeah, it's really, really early, and I think there's going to be a lot of polishing in the months to come.
Oh, I'm sure.
They said
Let's-
they're gonna
let's-
they're gonna try to add fighting to it as well.
And
That's
trading.
a perfect segue because I wanted to ask, like, more kind of on the macro side, like, how long do you think this keeps up at this pace, or do you think it crescendos upward, or you think it tapers off?
I think
because this is like a social like phenomenon right now.
I think it all depends on the updates. Like, I was talking to a guy at Apple, and he was basically saying, like, as soon as like users start to dip or interest starts to dip, that's when you put an update for like battles or tournaments or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, and I was thinking too, like, they have, I don't know how many Pokemon are in the final complete Pokedex, but like there's tons of generations for them to
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Be like, oh, now Generation 2 is in the game.
Exactly,
You know?
yeah.
And all the people who only played the first 150, their interest might be sparked to be like, oh, wow, these Pokemon that I thought were super lame are actually pretty cool. You know, maybe they'll get more into Pokemon.
And so
like
that's kind of the thing is there's definitely tons to add. This feels like, you know, the skeleton of the bare bones of the game. You know, like it's really, really basic, but it's fun. It's fun going around catching them. It's a good feeling when you can get this new one. You're like, add it to my Pokedex.
Right.
Like, but that's honestly at this point, the raising the Pokemon, making them stronger, even the gyms to a certain extent, it's not very developed. It's not very fun. It's an okay goal, but the biggest thing right now, the best way you're going to have fun with it is just wanting to catch them. It's just a collection game.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy to me is that even though it is so bare bones right now, like, it's just like fiercely popular. You
Yeah.
know, it's like totally ubiquitous. You can't escape it. Like, I almost said these people are everywhere.
I think the people that you see everywhere, those people are gonna taper off in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
The
Kinda
main,
might
the main,
become a little more like hardcore.
the next like, you know, fad will come and they'll go to that. I think the Pokemon, like us, we grew up with Pokemon. Those people will stay with it.
Well,
But
that makes me think of something else entirely. Like, the imitators will now be lining up big time to do all kinds of altered reality stuff.
Well,
to cash in on
the
this.
issue is that it's you know, actually one thing I really like about this is that let's take a look at Flappy Bird, right? That took everything by storm, like 3 years ago. I mean, everything was Flappy Bird. It was so
Yeah.
I don't know.
so popular.
I still don't know why
And
it got
I don't know
popular.
either, but
It
it
got
was
popular because of PewDiePie. He made a video about it, and that was it.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, well, that's annoying. I actually enjoyed it. It was a fun little stupid thing, but I'm
Actually,
not going to be.
it
I
became
kind
an
of
arcade
didn't
game.
hear anything about this phenomenon.
Oh, it's a mobile game where you just you're flying a bird. Every time you tap the screen, your bird flaps and he gets a little bit higher, and you have to go between a bunch of little pipes. And it's
so you
it's
mean
known
that Flash game that already existed in like 800 different iterations?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
right.
that- so that's exactly it. So the Flappy Bird came out. It got really popular, and they literally thousands. And I'm actually not exaggerating. Thousands of imitators. They're still coming out.
Splashy
with
Fish.
yeah,
was
with
my
like
favorite.
all of these stupid clone games, and the thing is that it was very accessible to clone, right? With Pokemon Go, there's no, you're not just going to see just a random like, oh, okay, it's Digimon Go, or it's going to be some
I
random
don't
thing,
think so.
because
then
the
people will
technology.
be like, oh, you're just biting off Pokemon Go
Well,
or something.
People would say that no matter what, but I mean, there's no way that it can happen because the technology. I mean, the technology of the geolocation kind of stuff with Pokemon Go. That's not something you can just kind of make overnight. That's not
Right.
something.
It's a huge project.
Yeah, it's like an imitator can't just go like, okay, I'll just make this in a week.
Well,
But there has to be other like big budget imitators. I mean, I just can't see there like other people
Honestly,
not trying
there
to.
really aren't.
They just don't have the firepower, or what?
Because the only game really like it was called Ingress, and that
It's-
was
it's
made
like by-
by Niantic, the
Yeah.
people who made Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is honestly, it's just a mod of Ingress.
Yep.
It's got the same because Ingress had these things called portals, which are the Pokemon stops or the Pokestops we know now, and the gyms,
Yeah. Mhm.
and it's literally in the same locations. So they just took the portals and made them Pokestops or gyms. They figured out the locations of like water spawns water Pokemon, desert spawn like ground Pokemon, but it's just kind of like a mod of Ingress.
What a lucrative mod.
Yeah, it is, and that's the thing is that it's like it really. But there really aren't any other games like it. If you wanted a geolocation game, it was Ingress,
Mhm.
and now it's Pokemon Go. So there's nothing else like
and
it.
now
So
they're raking in the dough.
So you're not
they're-
going to have
they're
any
just-
imitators.
They're standing on the AR corner by themselves.
Yeah, there's no one else that even can join them, at least not for a while. I mean,
For
there's
sure.
like
Yeah,
for
that
a
has
while.
to change. Just because people in positions of business power will see this and be like, "We're getting in on this, no matter what. We will
Right.
afford the resources."
I think it's just going to be too late, though, regardless.
Right.
I mean, like, because people will play a Flappy Bird clone, especially because, Flappy Bird is taken off the store, and even then, it's almost like different themes to the same game. I mean, all these clones do play exactly like it. There's no
Right.
difference in gameplay. So, a lot of people are going to say, I like this skin better. That's funny. Oh, it's got like a flying Shaquille O'Neal head going between hoops or something. That's
actually,
hilarious.
I'm listening.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, and people are just like, okay, that's fun. But Pokemon Go, I don't think people are going to accept an imitator, even if one were to come out.
Okay,
So-
interesting.
You're asking about if it plateaus, though.
I
and
guess
how
more
long it
like
lasts.
as players, like what do you see coming next? Do you think the expansion material they come with will like bring in more people, or will it make it kind of more niche where there'll be less players but they're more
So-
hardcore? Or
I'm thinking that it's going to plateau really soon here. Like, it's pretty much
It's got
right.
to.
It's right like at the top right now already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to start a slow decline, and I think there's definitely going to be a couple updates that come out that are going to reinvigorate it. But then with Pokemon Sun and Moon,
That'll be really interesting to see what happens when that comes out.
I think Pokemon Go is going to take a huge hit but I think honestly, Pokemon Sun and Moon
They're gonna
sales
get a
are
giant
going to
boost.
be crazy.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be absolutely crazy.
and what's great is a bunch of people are going to be buying
Synergy.
A bunch of people are going to be buying 3DSs too.
Oh,
You know,
totally.
'cause
Well,
it's
or
like-
the two, they've got. Hey, you don't need a 3DS. You can just buy this like
Right.
$80 2DS now.
The
And
gaming square.
that's what I'm saying,
the
though,
toast,
like,
yeah, that piece of
You know,
toast.
everything is set up for Nintendo to rake in serious cash.
Well, hey, I mean, they needed this, didn't they?
Yeah,
Like, big time.
Yeah, I mean, they're still apparently not in danger of going out of business.
Right,
Somehow.
that's not my worry, but it's like
I don't know how,
their
but-
reputation has kind of been
Oh,
tarnished
yeah,
as
the
just
Wii
like this
U
bulletproof, like
just bombed.
totally unique gaming
Yeah.
giant. But this is like totally them coming back, just like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, like we are back.
We
you know?
always
Yeah.
we always knew that their foray into the mobile gaming market would be successful.
But this
honestly.
has nothing to do with Nintendo.
yes,
Like,
it does.
This game is made by Pokemon Company and whatever Nintendo.
But
Braille-
Nintendo are going to be the ones who are reaping, you know.
yeah, they're reaping the benefits,
reaping the harvest.
But it's
Not-
funny because Nintendo didn't have like any aspect.
well,
of
they
any-
said
anything in this
here's
game.
the license, do something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
they
we
license out
can
Pokemon,
provide you
basically.
with people who know what this IP is already and like it. So you do a thing, or you package it up nicely, and then
Yeah.
the consumer base will be there for you
But let's
because
be
of
honest,
us.
half of Nintendo's games when they come out, and I don't mean half of like the. Sorry, I mean when a Nintendo game comes out, half of it is development skill and like what they put into it. The other half is just that it's their IP.
Right.
So giving their IP out is a big thing, even if that's all they do. Even if they just say, okay, this mobile company can do it, it's huge. And
Yeah.
even when they did step in to develop some stuff, like with Miitomo, I mean, it
was
actually
awful.
still worked really well. No, people really liked it.
Yeah,
the
they
problem,
liked it,
The
but it
problem is
didn't-
there were just no updates. I
it
feel
wasn't
like
much
they
of
kind
a game.
They kind of just threw it off to the side, which is really weird. I feel like they
'Cause it's
they
Nintendo.
had a good fan base. They had a good.
I think
thing
it was
going.
just a testing ground for future games. Honestly, like okay, like here's how mobile works. Here's how we can gather information. Because I've heard that they're in development of a Fire Emblem and an Animal Crossing mobile game.
They are,
and I feel like Animal Crossing of the two has the most potential to be huge.
Totally.
Because I mean, the 3DS version sells way better than Fire Emblem, as much as we like strategy RPGs and stuff like that. But I feel like updating your home, your town, like because Animal Crossing is a game that you can't marathon anyway. You can only play like so much per day and then turn it off.
Basically
Maybe you
built for
can't.
mobile.
maybe you can't marathon.
It's not meant to be played that way, from what I understand. I've never played
Jake's
one.
like,
so.
the hell with that.
No, I honestly think that I wouldn't say it's meant to be played either way. I think that it really suits small sessions, and it also suits long sessions. But the point is that it's really accessible to quick, like 10-minute plays.
That's why. That's why I think if they do it correctly, the new Animal Crossing might as be.
Oh yeah,
Well,
make
they
it
better-
free, and then the microtransactions
I don't
are like
know.
decorating your house and
Yeah.
stuff. Like it'll be
I-
insane.
I think the recognizability and familiarity of Pokemon is what made it so huge, and I don't think Animal Crossing has anything close to that.
I don't think
no,
it'll be as
no,
big as
but
Pokemon Go.
not.
No,
I'm
no,
not-
I see that as an impossibility.
Literally nothing has been as popular as Pokemon Go.
Exactly.
I heard that the daily active users. It has the record now for like 25 million, which was beat Candy Crush, beat Clash of Clans, all that stuff.
I would not be surprised if Pokemon Go was getting more user traffic than like number one like porn sites.
I'm sure.
Because usually those like dominate web traffic, right? If like you look at the numbers.
Oh yeah,
So-
they were saying it even surpasses Twitter, which is kind of nuts.
That's crazy.
But
I bet you anything that Nintendo saw the Pokemon Go, and they're probably thinking, "Oh, this is not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything that well. It's not going to be that popular."
Well, they couldn't have foreseen. I mean,
who could have, right? But anyway, is there anything else we want to touch on with Pokemon Go, or shall we?
I mean, we could talk about like more like kind of like the social, like side of it, but I think that's
we've already
that gets away from like LHG, so what we're about. So I'd say that
Being
that
social?
probably covers it.
yeah, we don't like who wants to be social.
Well, I mean, like the more real life implications, like are people, because there's tons of people who are like backlashing against this, like you losers go back in your house,
Yeah.
stop walking around running into traffic.
Oh my god!
And then there's like the people who play Pokemon Go who like backlash against the backlash, and they're like, you just hate people who want to be social and go outside and play games and blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't know what's more like drastic and angry, like the original backlash or the backlash against the backlash. It's
Yeah.
like, but one thing I've noticed that's just really funny is that like something about Pokemon Go gets people really fired up. Like some people like really can't stand it and get really mad about it, and it's like.
It's really
You could see where they're coming from when there's like mobs of people clogging up the streets with their holding a glowing screen to their face.
Yeah.
But it's like it's nothing to like lambaste people about or
No.
hate people about or get mad about. So it's like it's just like what is it about Pokemon Go or like a social movement?
I mean, it pretty much is.
Let's just point out how ridiculous that sounds. But like a social event, like what about it pisses people off so much? When they're not playing it.
It's just the people that hate things that are popular, honestly. And
Just like iconoclasm.
I get that. Yeah, and I get that. It's just that it's you have to be smart about it. You can't just hate every single thing that's popular. You have to, just
Gotta pick your battles.
pick
Yeah.
battles. Yeah, don't go hating on people playing Pokemon Go.
No.
Legitimately, it is pretty good for people. People are getting out and about. They're talking. They're walking.
Totally.
It's good. It's a fad. Just let it pass if you don't like it, and then just be done with it.
I think part of it is people get annoyed just because they have to hear about it so much.
Yeah.
Like especially on social media, like because like memes are like kind of like how people in our generation almost like communicate thoughts and ideas in a way,
Yeah,
and it's like
gross.
now like the meme. Yeah, it is gross, but whatever, it is what it is. And the meme market is now like 80% Pokemon Go memes,
Yeah.
and it's like just flooding everywhere. I can
Yep.
see how someone would just be like, enough
And
already.
it's huge,
Yeah.
though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's absolutely huge. It's become more popular than Twitter, more popular than Tinder and all that.
Mhm.
It's the most downloaded. Obviously, highest grossing right now. It beat out Mobile Strike, which is actually doing
Wow.
really well on microtransactions, and so it's highest grossing. Again, that's
Mhm.
making more money than Mobile Strike, which is really actually pretty impressive.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is dismayed by this news.
Mobile
Mhm.
Strike. What a stupid game.
Build your
I-
base. Wait
get-
5 hours to build it.
Yeah.
I guess one last thing on this is like I saw a pretty funny comment that I think sums up how it feels. It's like this one guy was like, if you're annoyed by hearing so much about Pokemon Go, like this is what it's been like to be a sports fan for the past 30 years of my life. Except I do have to say, sports have never been talked about as much as this has, I think.
Right.
But I could be wrong, but that's my read.
Yeah, not quite this bad because there's so many like different pockets of sports. You know,
Right,
nothing like
yeah.
reaches a fever pitch quite
Well,
like
and
this.
Plus, like usually moments where sports are being discussed really prevalently and like national discussion is like when it's like the big game.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it lasts for like a day or two.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and then kind of tapers off. But it's just been a solid block of Pokemon Go consumption for everybody, whether you play it or not.
Right.
But that's probably enough on that. I feel like that was
Yeah.
a good shot.
So
yeah. So I've got a fun little game that I'm gonna try my best to introduce.
I'm thinking. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to interrupt you here real
okay,
quick.
sure.
We were talking about what order we go in.
Yeah.
That could be decided by playing our other game first, because this one's a nice, easy one to play. Well, no, maybe it couldn't be decided.
Because
Like
you can't
this.
really win.
Because there's
I
not
guess,
a,
yeah, you
there's
can't
not
really
a
win.
winner at,
I didn't think about that.
Well, I'm just saying we roll. So we have two d20s here. So we each roll, a d20, and then like it goes highest to lowest. I think would be pretty easy.
Yeah, fair
Cool.
enough.
All right.
So I guess
So
I'll
yeah,
do
go
it.
ahead and explain
Taylor's
the
gonna
game
go first?
before we
So
roll
basically,
here.
this
Alright.
game is I'm gonna just say I'm borrowing this idea from a channel called Sifted Games.
Stealing.
Stealing, whatever. But they do it for the entire year, which makes it a little bit more interesting because you don't know if games will get delayed. So I feel like all the games. Let me actually introduce the idea. So the idea is that we each will pick a game, right? And based on what its Metacritic score is, like we're going to add up all the games we pick and add up their scores at the end of the year and see
Games that haven't been released yet.
Correct. Yeah. So then we'll add up our scores at the end of the year, and it's the idea is you could pick like some really random JRPG that will review well, or a big AAA game, or some little indie game, but those are the risks you take.
So to be clear,
Yeah.
we're not picking our favorites. We're not picking.
No.
We're picking the games that we believe are going to score the highest of the Metacritic score, which is
Right.
a score that's aggregated from multiple different ratings.
Right.
You
rating
got
sources.
you got
Yeah.
to think of the industry, what's popular,
Right,
what's
right.
Gonna,
So you have to predict what the people will think, not necessarily what
Still
you
going
will
to pick
think.
some of my favorites.
All right.
Yeah, well, when you hear mine, same here. Trust me,
That's up to you.
bias is real.
So we all will have 3 picks, and then we're gonna roll to see who goes first, and we'll go from there. So here's my roll.
We'll go clockwise.
I mean, yeah, we'll roll clockwise.
Whichever way Nick goes last.
All right. So I have a 9.
Got
Eight.
Jake has an 8.
8 for Jake. For
7.
me, 6. All right. And for Nick,
1.
All right. Well, it goes in this order anyway. All right.
Cool.
Wow.
That's funny.
Oh, okay.
Descending dice rolls.
I wasn't anticipating necessarily going first. All right, I think this is a pretty safe bet, but for my first pick, I'm going to pick Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Dang it.
You're the worst.
That was on all of our short lists.
Yep.
But
Not
hey,
mine.
So is
who
that
knows?
Pokemon-
Maybe the increased popularity of the game, like because of all this Pokemon Go exposure, will drag down the scores because it's so overhyped.
That could be.
That's true.
That
It
very
could
well
be.
could.
Like, 'cause,
I mean, that's
peop-
totally not going to happen, but it could be. Yeah.
Hey, it could be.
right, so-
I'm going to pick Pokemon Sun or Moon, whichever one Taylor
No,
doesn't pick.
no, it's the same game.
Dude, so much respect for that gamesmanship right there.
No, you can't. So Pokemon.
I'm kidding, I'm
okay,
kidding.
I love
okay.
where his head's at. Though.
Okay.
I will pick No Man's Sky.
Oh, that's risky.
Yeah,
All
I feel like
right.
that could crash and burn.
No, I think it's gonna blast off.
Oh, okay.
All right, so then it goes to me.
It does.
Well, I'm going to count on the amazing reputation of this franchise, and I'm going to say Final Fantasy 15.
Ooh, okay.
I know this one could crash and burn too, but I feel like people who review this game could be so happy that a new Final Fantasy is out. Even if the game is half decent, it'll get great scores.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's almost sacrilegious for many to like give a really bad grade to Final Fantasy, unless it's a piece of crap.
Yeah, I think fans are like definitely ready for it to come back. But I think this could either be like sitting around in the 70s, or it could be like a 90s type of game. It totally.
You got to roll the dice, man.
Yeah, that's the part of the risk taking. So Nick, what is your first round pick for?
All right, so I'm gonna pick one out of left field.
Okay.
This game was super popular last time it came out, and this one's improving on it a
If
lot.
you steal this from
Okay,
me,
don't
do
steal
it.
it.
Don't
do it. You're gonna steal mine, aren't you?
And I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it?
And I'm gonna pick Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
that wasn't the one I was thinking about.
I think everyone's just like, oh, thank
Oh,
God.
yeah.
You
It
didn't
is-
pick the good one.
it is on my list, though.
Yeah.
It is on my list.
Did that review well? I totally don't
Yeah,
remember.
it reviewed because everyone was like super like surprised by how good it
Excited
was.
that there was like a good Dragon Ball Z game.
Okay, so all right, so
Round 2.
all right, round 2. This one, I think.
Hey, sorry.
Yes.
On the fly suggestion for structure here. Like a regular Serpentine draft, you want to go reverse order for second round? And
No,
then back to-
absolutely not.
No.
It's worth a try. I'm trying to throw myself a bone here.
Nope. Absolutely.
You'd be the same position either way.
No, I'd go third this way and second that way.
Oh, because it would start with Nick.
Yeah.
I see.
All right, so I'll go again.
nope,
Nope.
no, none of this.
All right.
I had to try.
All right. So I think this is a series that typically reviews well, and I don't play this series, but I think it's popular, and I think it's going to review well. I'm going to pick Civilization 6.
Oh, and Ben Moore was saying very, very nice things about this upcoming game. So
Yeah,
he's a Civ junkie, so I trust his judgment.
All right, I'm gonna go with South Park.
Oh,
The
damn,
fractured,
that was on my list.
the
Dang it.
fractured butthole.
Nice.
But ho.
Fractured butthole.
Okay, I dig that. That one will certainly be popular with the people, but what will the reviewers think?
Yeah, they might say this is just the same thing as last game.
Yeah,
Whatever.
If it is, though,
I
what
think
if it's not?
I think they'll say this is just like last game, and
even
except
better.
It's been improved on everything, and it's
There
perfect.
you go.
10.1 out of 10.
10.1 out of 10.
I don't know if that. Never mind.
It does.
It
does.
Well,
All right, Connor.
I have a couple of sleepers here.
Okay.
I have a couple sleepers, but I'm going to save those for round 3 because I don't think you guys are going to pick them.
Okay.
So
That's same. I'm like saving
Yeah.
my best one for the last round because I'm just counting on it.
that's the thing is that there's so many games to choose from. Like,
there's a lot. Yeah.
but I'm picking with my heart with this one.
Okay.
Right when I say that, you guys probably know exactly what I'm going to say.
Hmm.
But I think this is a game that, like, as far as production value, has no equal. And it is World of Warcraft Legion.
Oh, okay.
I think it's going to get great reviews.
Okay,
I think it's
cool.
going to bring a ton of people back into the game.
Cool.
Yep, that's my pick.
World of Warcraft Legion. I like it. All right, Nick's gonna pick some weird.
All right. So
nobody's ever heard of.
Mech
This-
Warrior.
you know. So the first one was also very popular,
Uh-huh.
and this one's coming out soon.
Don't
It's
steal
a
this from me.
strategy RPG, and it's called Banner Saga 2.
Isn't that out?
That's out already.
Is it?
That's been out for a long time.
It says right here it's coming out. That's fine.
For a specific
for
console.
to port.
Whatever.
probably the
Okay.
PS4.
My
Pick
next,
something
my next
else.
one is
Sorry.
going to be Monster Hunter Generations.
Okay.
Cool.
That's
All right.
also been out for like 3 months, dude.
Yeah, in Japan.
Just messing. I just wanted to see if you'd fall for it.
Wait, if it is out in Japan, is that
no.
No, it doesn't count.
well?
Yeah.
If reviews
No.
are out,
There's no reviews for it.
Reviews.
could be drastically
Yeah,
different.
reviews could
Yeah.
vary wildly from Japan to America.
Okay.
So I feel
All right.
like that's no. I wouldn't pick based on what Japan thinks about it.
okay, cool.
All right. So, do we want to make it 4 picks, or do we want to just?
3 is good with me. I mean,
Okay.
I don't
hey,
care.
you're
Okay.
the commissioner
I
here.
don't care either way.
You're the commissioner.
I guess I'm just having fun with this. I want to keep the good times rolling.
All right, let's do 4.
5
then.
picks, 10 picks.
100 picks. No.
Pick until we all die of starvation.
All right, we'll do one more. We'll do 4 each.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, so next up, there is. I think this is a pretty safe pick because the first one reviewed well and sold well. I think people are pretty excited about it. But I'm going to pick Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely a cult classic series. But that is one of those games that I feel like always gets a good score, even if it's not like wildly popular flying off the shelves, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right, Jake with his 3rd round pick.
Yeah, I'm picking with my heart here as well,
boy.
guys. Going with Destiny: Rise of Iron.
Oh,
That was-
I think that's gonna. I think it's just gonna be a home run. I really can't imagine.
Well, I think the people that are going to review it are probably going to be people that are Destiny fans.
Right.
And if it's a good expansion, then that just means great reviews.
Right.
It's been a while since there's been a Destiny expansion, if I'm not mistaken.
It's.
Right?
I think there's gonna be one a year is their plan. There's gonna be the first 3 years. It's gonna be the first game and then an expansion, then another expansion. On the 4th year, it'll be Destiny 2. and then probably 2 expansions, and then on the 6th year it'll be or
Destiny
7th year it'll be Destiny 3, and then
2
probably
more.
probably 3 expansions to finish it out,
Right.
because it's gonna be a 10-year thing, right?
Totally forgot
So-
about that timeline that they had.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, yep, there we
All
go.
right.
Destiny: Rise of Iron.
Condor. What is your third round pick? sir?
Let me think, because I had a strategy kind of going with the 3 picks, so now
Oh, now I
kinda
threw you
gotta
off.
shake
Sorry.
it up a little bit. No, it's good. I still think my sleepers are going to be on the board, so I'm saving that for my 4th pick.
Okay.
So with my 3rd, I'm going to go with a game that is hugely popular and a lot of times gets a lot of smack talked about it. But from what I saw from the E3 trailer, I think this could really be a great game that gets great reviews. I'm going to go with Call of Duty.
Okay.
Infinite Warfare.
That was a really
That was
impressive
one of
trailer.
the most awesome trailers from E3.
Such a great E3 moment too, where we're all just like, "This is Call of Duty! Holy
Yeah.
crap!" Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, we were all
So,
like blown away, which is weird.
I'm banking on that turning into some favorable
is this
reviews.
Eve Valkyrie?
And maybe
Yeah,
it'll
that's
get
what
some
it's about.
extra love because it's rising above, or it's it's kind of separating itself from a Call of Duty franchise that can kind of be samey and forgettable.
Absolutely.
Might get some extra love if it rises above that.
All right, Nikolai, your third round pick, sir.
We select DeForest Buckner out of Washington State.
All right. So I'm going to be swinging at a curveball here.
Oh, okay. Here we
You know
go.
what usually happens when you do that, right?
If it's floating, you usually hit it out of the park, or if it's
Well, he's been throwing that breaking ball pretty tight tonight, so you better watch your ass.
I know. This is why I'm taking a risk.
Okay. Sometimes you got to take risks.
Yes.
Sometimes they pay off.
So this game could be really big
Mm-hmm.
because of all the improvements they've made, or it could fall flat because of its past.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Titanfall 2.
Yep.
Ooh,
I knew-
Okay.
I was curious if someone was going to pick that. I thought about it, and I said, I'm staying away from that. I'm not
Because
touching
now
that.
they've got
I'm
the
impressed you're
campaign
going with that.
and all that. Yeah, they're really.
But can't you see the tagline for a review saying, finally, the franchise gets the attention it deserved, you
Yeah,
know?
wow,
And then
yeah.
it being like a 10.
I can-
It
Absolutely.
finally has all the content it needs.
I can
Right.
totally see that.
Oh yeah.
But
The
we'll just have to
gameplay's
live
great.
with that because I wasn't going to take that risk. So
Yeah.
we'll let this jabroni over here do it.
All right.
We're
So
usually good at hitting curveballs, so
okay.
I'd love to see that. Go ahead, Taylor.
So I feel like my first 3 picks have been pretty safe. I'm gonna pick something that I think is kind of risky. Again, this is one of those risky picks. It could either be hanging around the low 7s, or it could be like a really high mid 90s. I'm gonna pick The Last Guardian.
God,
Another
damn
one. I was just
you.
waiting till someone
God,
took that.
that
that's super risky.
It is.
I'm kind of surprised
Shoot.
that's around in the last round.
Oh,
though.
well, I think it's because it's risky. Like, I think
Yeah.
there's a potential for it to be amazing, but then it's also like we've been waiting for this game forever. Can it live up to the hype?
It's
blah blah
probably-
blah.
It's going to be really hard to
Do you think it's one of those games that could get like bad reviews and good reviews?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
it
like,
might settle right.
More drastically than normal.
Potentially, I think it's a very subjective, kind of weird type of game. So,
I'm
very
gonna love
niche.
it. I'm gonna love it.
oh,
I'm
me
sure.
too. I'll be there day one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to be like disappointed because they thought it was going to be amazing because of all the hype they heard.
Right.
So
Right.
Or
No,
it
it's
could
just-
it
it's
could
just
be
a
amazing
simple-
and it lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So since you took my 4th pick away from me, Taylor,
Sorry.
I guess I'm gonna go with Battlefield 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a solid
Get
pick.
some points at the end.
son of a bitch.
Get
Supplement
some
my risky
little
ones.
World War One boost there.
Yep, exactly.
No, that's I could see that game getting fantastic reviews. I mean, the
That's,
demo that they had at E3 was
Mhm.
pretty outstanding. So,
This is what I'd call a value pick.
And Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg
totally.
likes it. So
oh man, dude,
Yeah, he was rocking it in that demo.
I'm gonna twist me up a doobie just to celebrate him being a Battlefield
We're
One
just
fan.
running into the wall.
You guys trying to torque a chundle?
All right.
Anyway, so that's over to me.
Yes.
My
All right,
last pick.
Connor, your last pick of the draft.
So this one, I'm tying on the blindfold and throwing a dart at the dartboard without looking.
Okay.
Picking with my gut. This is just a game that I feel like is very strange that I don't know a ton about, but I feel like it has a big following. Maybe that'll translate into some great reviews. I'm going with Yokai Watch 2.
Ooh,
'Cause I know that was
okay.
insanely popular in Japan. I'm thinking maybe this is where it breaks through, or even if it doesn't sell really well and get really popular over here, maybe it's just a game that'll review well. So this one is kind of just roll the dice.
Okay. I've heard that the second one was a lot better than the first. So hopefully it pays off. All right, Nick, you have the final pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, as they call it in the NFL.
All right.
Appropriate.
So, going with this amazing game. It's going to be unbelievable.
Okay.
Sonic Boom. I'm just joking.
All right, we have it for our
Metroid
draft.
Prime Federation Force.
Oh my God.
It is going to be the best game.
Just hearing that name just pisses me off now. I'm just like, son of a...
By the way, that fart noise was accompanied with a thumbs down.
All right, so actually, I'm going to go with an easy one here.
Okay.
I think I'm safe. It's always a solid game. Forza Horizon 3.
Okay.
cool.
I
Yeah.
think that's a pretty safe pick.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be a hit among the simulator buffs, but I mean, those are the ones that are going to be reviewing it.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So,
Smart.
It's taking.
All right.
Hopefully.
That's probably one of the more savvy picks of this whole thing,
Yeah.
actually.
Totally.
All right, so let me just finalize the list, and I'll read them off
Small, loyal
one
crowd.
more time.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
true. Yeah.
All right.
My
Gran
Banner
Turismo
Saga
kinda had
2.
the same thing.
So starting with me, I picked Pokemon Sun and Moon, Civilization
That's gonna
6, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, and The Last Guardian.
I think that
Big-
last
that's a lot of
pick's
big
gonna
titles,
kill you.
man.
They are. I was really trying to find some indie games, but I'm like, I don't really know of any indie games that are coming out this year. So,
My chasm.
Chasm would be great. Jake, he's got No Man's Sky, South Park: The Fractured But Whole, Destiny: Rise of Iron, and Battlefield 1.
Dude, every single
But
one of
yeah.
those picks is like scary.
Yeah, props to the South Park guys, by the way. Just for every time that game name is said, me and Jake still chuckle.
It's so ridiculous.
We are 5 years old.
It's like the new age 69. It's just like,
All right, Connor.
But
Oh.
hang on. Just
Yeah.
yesterday, we got sushi, and on the sushi menu, there's a lot of times a 49er roll.
yeah.
There's a 69er roll on the sushi menu, and I was like,
What?
is that just a typo, or are you guys trying to be really cheeky or something? So naturally, I ordered it. But now, yeah, continue.
All right, with Connor's picks, Final Fantasy 15, World of Warcraft Legion, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and Yokai Watch 2.
3 big titles, and then
And then
small
Yokai
one.
Watch 2.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes those like weird JRPGs are like potentially the safest picks because it's going to be those weird, people that review all the JRPGs and they
Yeah.
will typically, review them high if they like them. So
Right.
Corey in the House, all these random little things.
yeah, exactly.
But it's all the scores aggregated together, so it's like such an
It's-
interesting,
yeah.
such an interesting
But Corey in the
dynamic.
House, or Corey in the House,
In the
reviewed
House.
so well, and that's infamous for being like a what kind of game. It was
like-
like this stupid little Disney Channel DS game that reviewed like
Wow.
super well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It's
funny.
like Corey in the House.
What's Corey in the House? What's that? Oh, Corey in the House.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
God.
absolutely.
And then
All
Nick.
right, and rounding out, we've got Nick with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Monster Hunter Generations, Titanfall 2, and Forza Horizon 3. So,
A couple risk picks in there, but some really solid ones too.
so as these games come out, we'll have to start keeping track of adding the scores to our list and
We're gonna
see how it
because
plays out.
Metacritic kind of evolves as reviews come out.
So
evolves.
it'll be the final Metacritic at the end of the year.
okay.
So
yeah.
it'll be fun actually to kind of check in on some of these after they come out and monitor how the
Yeah.
reviews do and see if it falls or rises from there.
Yeah, because it'll be really interesting. Replay value is going to take a huge because a lot of reviews, individual reviews, don't take into account replay value. But the Metacritic review, once we wait till the end of the year, if they've come out early enough, will take into account replay value because it'll have all of these reviews over time.
That's an interesting point because replay value is something that's really, really difficult to like ascertain whether a game has it or not from
Right.
like before until it's out.
Right.
Until you're playing.
Yeah.
But-
All right.
What does the winner get?
Ooh.
Maybe the 3 losers should have to do something. Maybe. But-
We'll determine that over time. Leave some suggestions in the comments or hit us up on Twitter if you've got any ideas for what that may or may not be.
Something vile or humiliating or something.
Something legal.
Something
please.
Yeah.
more than likely like buying lunch.
Something.
Yeah,
that
I was going to
doesn't-
say buying lunch sounds easy.
No, I was thinking more of you have to catch a Pidgey while you're like standing in the freeway or something. But, we'll brainstorm.
All right.
Firing Squad.
So to round out the podcast, we are going to end with Roll With It. So if you guys aren't familiar with this game it's basically a game where we roll 2 d20s, and each dice is designated a genre and a what's the other one?
It's a genre and then the award that that
that's
is
it.
being given.
That's right. So it's like worst, best action game, blah 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 blah.
Oh, okay, right. So we have to come up with an answer based on the modifiers that we roll,
Correct. So we'll
which can be pretty difficult if you get some weird ones.
yeah, like it's, we always kind of come up short when it comes to MOBAs and stuff like that. So,
if we want, we could give this some rules depending on how much time we have. We could. Okay, so then why don't we make it something like we each get if we can't come up with an answer. Within a reasonable amount of time, give it like a minute. There's still you've got time to think, right? But within a reasonable amount of time,
moving.
yeah. Then if you can't come up with an answer 3 times, you're out. Okay, but you
Okay.
also get 3 skips that you can use overall. I think that's a pretty good thing, and
Yeah,
just be
'cause
like,
you gotta
nope,
have
not doing
skips.
this. Yeah, and then last one standing wins.
okay,
How's that sound?
All right.
Sure, we've got
Sounds
plenty of
good to
time,
me.
so we can definitely keep this going for a little while.
Should we?
do it.
Should we keep this going in the same order that we were? So it would be
Sure.
Taylor, me, Connor, Nick, because then that means that
Tell you
you
what,
actually have a better chance at
wanna-
winning.
Reverse
Yep.
it.
All right, let's get.
because
yeah, you're right,
you
you're
have a
right,
better
yeah.
chance at winning if you're later.
They just don't want to hear my opinions.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
we
I
just-
mean, can you blame me?
no.
So then, Taylor, we're going to assign the green die as
Okay.
the genre and
Okay.
the red die as the award being given, and I will read out what the dice mean. So tell me the numbers once they're rolled. Genre first. Oh no, I guess we'll do. Let's see. Let's read the red first, the award first,
Okay.
and then the green. So tell me those numbers in red, then green order.
All right, we've got 18 for red and 4 for green.
Okay, we have. Man, these kind of suck. I keep forgetting, but it's okay. Worst downloadable content for a racing game.
Okay.
Technically, Rocket League's a racing game.
Yeah,
right?
I was thinking. My mind immediately went to Rocket League.
Rocket League is not a racing
I-
game. You're just driving.
I could.
Well, yeah, it's true.
You
You're not
have
actually,
to race to the ball.
No, but you're not. You're really not racing at all. You're right. You're just in
it's
cars.
more of a sports game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not racing. Yeah, good point, Nick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Drive
Laying down the
Club.
law.
Worst downloadable content in a driving game. I don't play a lot of driving games, or really any. So I'm trying to think of what some downloadable content would be. So we get
You gotta
3
skip
skips.
these.
you
3
said?
skips.
And if you run out of skips, you're out. Is that it?
No, it just if you can't answer 3 times, you're out.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll
You gonna re-roll?
for the genre.
You can re-roll both if you want.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, or you can lock one in and
That's a
just
skip,
re-roll.
right?
Yeah.
That would be a
Okay.
skip. But yeah, it's
I
you
actually
can,
don't mind
you can
the.
keep one if you want.
I don't mind the award. I just don't know anything about racing games.
Okay.
So
Worst downloadable content in
18.
a sandbox game. That's pretty easy because that's a pretty fluid genre.
Okay, I would say the worst is maybe technically the first DLC ever, and I'm gonna go with Horse Armor 4. Was it Morrowind or
That was for
Oblivion?
Armor.
that was
Horse
the
Armor.
that was the beginning of DLC, and it's just like really horse
That-
armor.
By the way,
That is the pinnacle.
provides no defensive benefits
Yeah.
whatsoever.
it's all aesthetic.
completely cosmetic.
So I will be honest though, it gets so much flack, but
so cool.
think about all the cosmetic DLC that's out now. I mean, I paid. It was like $1, right? Or was it a couple dollars? I paid a couple dollars, and
was
my
like $5.
horses looked awesome. I was happy with it. All right,
Okay.
just to
to each
throw
his
my
own. To each his own.
defense out there.
Who used horses? I just used
In-
fast travel the entire time.
Oh,
Yeah, but what about when you're going a place they haven't been before?
Just run. It's fun.
Use a horse. Go get there twice as fast.
Time to
Genius.
steal the horse.
Idiot.
oh my God.
All right. Anyway,
I was a
so
rogue. You're fired,
All right.
Nick.
Then for me, oh boy, thank you. If it's bad, it's Connor's fault. Okay, it is
Words
best.
to live by.
All right, so it is the best MMO. That's it. Best in category.
wow.
Massively multiplayer online game.
Okay.
I got pretty lucky here.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, the number 1 on the red dice and the number 11 on the red die is really good because it's best in category or worst in category. So, so let's see. Massively multiplayer online game. So it's not really an RPG, right? I don't know.
It can be an RPG.
Yeah, it can be, but it's not necessarily an MMORPG.
Mag.
Massively multiplayer online game. What?
I think somebody's trying to give you
WO4? What?
What could you possibly be
World
trying to
of-
imply with a
World of
massively
Tanks?
multiplayer online
World of
game?
Tanks?
I heard that's pretty good.
World at War?
Yeah, no, I was thinking potentially World of Warcraft, potentially Destiny.
I'm flabbergasted you didn't just say Destiny right off the
Well,
bat.
because I want to give it the benefit of a doubt.
There is no doubt to have.
Actually, yeah, you know what? I have a really good answer. I think. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Best in category for massively multiplayer online game, Destiny.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right.
Fair enough. That was a lot of to do for
Wait,
something
wait,
I knew
guys,
right when you rolled
guys,
it.
Do you hear that?
What?
Hear all the booze?
Hey, you shut up.
You suck. Ref, you suck. It's not even the right sport. Come on, guys. Get it together.
If you guys think Destiny counts,
No,
No,
Destiny
absolutely.
definitely
All right,
counts. Yeah.
100% an MMO.
cool. All right, then Connor, you're up. Read red with me first, then green.
All right. We got 3, 14.
Okay, actually, this will be cool. Best voice acting in a turn-based strategy.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Well, actually, this one's really easy for me, actually. So, since I already have an answer, I want you guys to throw out some guesses what you think I might pick.
I was gonna say tactics, but they don't have voice acting
There's
until
there's no voice acting
Yeah,
in that
in
entire
the
game.
remake in the PSP there.
Oh, I
is
guess in the remake, yeah.
turn-based
This guy,
strategy.
Not even close, no.
All right.
not even.
That's
not
all-
even.
that's
Wow, dude, you really almost didn't even get it at all. Not
I'm
even
done.
close.
Mega Man X or whatever.
Lunar
it was?
2. I'm going with the Lunar 2.
Okay, just
Turn
you guys are awful.
Yeah, you guys suck. No, Lunar 2, fantastic JRPG with great live.
Is that a strategy game
It's
though?
strategy, not turn-based.
Turn-based
it's
strategy.
game.
Well, it's a turn-based.
But hey, you have to move your characters around on the battlefield. That's strategy, kind of like, isn't it?
I wouldn't categorize. It's more of an RPG than a strategy
yeah,
game.
this
then.
is turn-based strategy.
Shoot, I guess that kind of throws things for a loop.
That's
I
why I
guess.
So-
said this guy. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I know as voice.
Turn-based strategy.
No, I guess Tactics War of the Lions has to do
You
it.
guys
huh?
think that that like let's say Final Fantasy 3, you go around, it's an RPG with turn-based battles. That's not turn-based strategy though, I guess.
Yeah, that would be turn-based strategy.
Like,
That'd be a
I
strategy
think what they're
RPG.
getting at is like a grid-based
Yeah.
game.
I
Yeah.
mean, Civ is a turn-based strategy game, right? Technically.
It's not RPG.
Yeah, but it doesn't say RPG. It's just turn-based
Wait,
strategy.
Turn-based
can I
strategy.
can I say Pillars of Eternity? That's a strategy game,
Does
right?
it have voice acting?
Yeah,
Is
it
it
has
your
mad
the best
voice
voice acting?
Yeah, that's outstanding voice acting.
Well, then that sounds like a pick right there.
Like a Baldur's Gate, like D&D style game. That's a strategy game, right?
Yeah, because you pause the
Yeah,
battles and you strategize what you're going to do.
This is turn-based strategy.
All right.
not-
well,
so you're
it
not
is-
pausing
no,
battles.
but it
You're-
is turn-based, like because it rolls on all the same framework as Dungeons and Dragons,
Okay,
which is a
whatever,
turn-based
sure.
game. So, Pillars of Eternity. Woo!
I've never played it, so I'll trust you.
Wow, so that wasn't a grid-like?
Technically, it is, but it's like we're going with it.
Okay, cool.
Fight.
All right, Nikolai.
We need to update our terms, man.
yeah, definitely.
19 for red, 15 for green.
Worst humor in a party game.
All right.
Think of all the party games you know.
Yeah, this is perfect for Nick.
Nick loves to play party games. That's like games where you form a party, right? To like
It's
clear dungeons
it's like
out.
games
and
where
stuff.
you have to have
Exactly.
fry.
You know what?
Ends?
Screw you guys. I think
Free A's.
Screw you guys.
I think we play this game
that
a
how you
lot.
say it?
I think we play this game a lot, and I don't like his stuff. Fibbage. The announcer for Fibbage.
yeah, okay.
I don't like his little
Little
quips.
And you know what?
Quips, yeah.
That makes sense because it's funny and we laugh at it, but we're laughing at our own content.
Yeah, we're not laughing at him.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, that was a great answer, or whatever
Yeah.
garbage they say.
Yeah,
Except
yeah.
that actually was kind of a great answer, but hey.
That's really good. Good stuff, Nick.
All right.
To come up with a really like pretty decent answer
Yeah.
for something like that.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Alrighty,
Worst
here we
guys
go.
humor in a party.
Round
You guys
2.
don't believe in me.
Not
I
at
do.
all. Oh, I mean, yeah, we do.
All right, 9 for red. It was 9, and then 11 for green.
Best humor in a roguelike.
In a roguelike?
Actually, this seems really easy to
Yeah.
me.
I think that's going to be right up your
a
alley.
roguelike?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know very many funny roguelikes.
Dude.
Rogue Legacy isn't very funny.
Dude, think about the descriptions for the characters like in the beginning of that game. Like for the different abilities that each descendant has.
Yeah.
I thought those were pretty
Is
hilarious.
it best humor, you said?
Best humor.
Best
But
humor.
think about all the roguelike games. Enter the Gungeon is technically...
Yeah, I was saying, Into the Gungeon, there's Spelunky, which isn't very funny, but that's out there. I'm trying to think best humor.
That's something, I guess. Sorry, Spelunky devs.
I mean, it's a roguelike, but it's not very
you
funny.
listen to this.
Yeah, I know, right? I might have to do... I mean, Enter the Gungeon's not very funny either. I don't know. None of them are really that funny. I guess...
Like Rogue Legacy is...
That might have to...
I've laughed multiple times at the descriptions for the Descendants and Rogue Legacy.
I think I might have to go with Rogue Legacy. It's like the bold and the beautiful, or like loves the man, or whatever. Like if it's... Yeah,
It
things
just has humor, which is like enough to make it the funniest roguelike because roguelikes are not typically humorous in any way.
Right.
Okay, cool.
All right. Jacobus Prime.
All right. We'll go with
3-8.
best voice acting in an RPG.
Oh, geez. Come on. You're getting lucky, man.
I am. I'm getting super lucky. I might go with, in fact, which
Lunar
one?
2.
Which one? Lunar 2, everybody.
Yeah.
Is his answer like on us? So if we say no, you're wrong.
No.
I mean, I get if you
I think
disqualify
I
it.
think
I
that's
guess
his opinion. I think is all it is.
Well,
Then
yeah,
no
I know,
one
I
could
know.
win.
But it's kind of an honor system.
Everybody
if you're
wins,
if you're
Nick.
just like,
Alright.
I mean, there's nothing. So I mean, I don't know. This is technically one of those genres, and I will just say that my opinion is that it's the best in this genre.
says
Here's how I think it
No,
works,
no.
guys. I think we all win and the listeners lose.
There you go.
So that's how this contest works.
Losers have to rate the other one really good on iTunes.
For shame.
No, but I would say Mass
No.
Effect 2.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean no?
No.
What's no?
No.
What?
I agree. Mass Effect 2 is good.
Yeah.
No.
I think Nick.
Wait,
just
why are you
wants to
saying
say
no?
No.
All right.
Mass
All
Effect
right.
3 is better.
You're up, Connor.
All right, dude.
You're up, Connor.
All right. Lady Luck be kind. That's
7, I think?
that's
Or is it a 4?
That's an A.
that's a 2. It looks like.
I mean,
We're re-rolling this bad boy.
Well,
That's not a real number.
all right.
2012.
or 12 for
12-20.
Yeah.
So it is worst storyline in in a MOBA.
You do have 3 skips. in my
Hey,
opinion.
Well,
Hey.
or this one's pretty easy.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on this.
This one's
Because
really
every
easy,
MOBA
man.
has to have some kind of explanation as to why these
Does it?
Why is it
people
happening?
are fighting in this place
Yeah.
and over what. So I don't play very many MOBAs, but I'm gonna go ahead and say
Oh,
Heroes.
wait. Hold on. Before this is read,
Yes.
I think a fun little rule to add to this would be that the same answer can't be used twice.
Right.
Like we
I
can't
totally
use the
agree.
same game.
Well, not like if you Nick, you say a game, I can't use it for any of my answers. For
Right.
instance, I think that's a good.
Sure.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there as a before you named your answer because I figured
Right.
that'll be relevant to your answer.
Yeah, sure. I'm going with Heroes of the Storm because literally the explanation for that game is there's a big storm in outer space and all the characters from all the different universes get sucked into this magic place called the Nexus where they all have to fight for eternity for literally no reason.
Yep, there you go.
So
Awesome.
As far as story, that's
I didn't
pretty
know you were such a
goddamn
nerd.
lazy.
You knew the whole story. God.
Yeah, I watched the 2.5 minute trailer. But yeah, it's like literally Blizzard just came out and said a bunch of random crap happened, and now all these people are fighting for eternity for whatever reason. So here's the game.
That's funny.
Worst story.
All right, Nick.
Not that it needs one.
1818.
1818.
Going for
It's actually pronounced at.
worst downloadable content in a sandbox game.
1818.
What?
Same
No,
deal.
that can't be. I didn't roll
Or
double.
1818?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
No. We, before it was. Wait, was it?
Yeah.
1818?
Yeah.
What did? Uh-oh. Was it racing game or something?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. I
yeah,
re-rolled
yeah.
it. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
you did. Okay.
All right. Well, you can't pick Oblivion.
Yeah. Or you can use your skip to re-roll one or both.
No.
Okay.
Quiet you. Downloadable texture packs for Minecraft Console Edition.
Oh, that is
Because
an
you can do that for
excellent-
free
On PC.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that's a great answer, actually.
Yeah.
And that's like the ultimate sandbox game.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
Absolutely.
yeah, you get an A plus
Yeah.
for that.
Great. That was
God, I'm just awesome
no other
at these
review
guys.
here. That was just perfect.
Drink
Uh,
in this moment. It's fleeting.
So,
Let's do another round. And
yeah, I was
talk
gonna
about-
say-
we'll talk about length.
I would say, yeah, this is probably about the last round.
round.
All right.
Final fibbage.
Come on, nothing
With the Dr.
terrible.
Orpheus voice.
All right, I got 9, 12.
Best humor in a sim game, a simulation game.
Okay, I'm going to re-roll best humor because I got that last time, and I don't
Okay.
want to talk about humor again. A 1.
Best sim game.
Best
simulation.
Ooh, man, this is a great. Man,
it's,
there's
a
so
great
much.
Nick, it's a great Nick game.
So many answers. So immediately, what comes to mind is Harvest Moon Back to Nature, because it was
Is that
like
a simulation game?
absolutely a
It's
simulation.
It's a farm simulator.
Totally a
for
life sim game.
Is it?
Well,
I
I feel like that's a simulation game on the grounds that every game is a simulation game.
Like, I wouldn't even say that The Sims is a simulation game. Like,
Okay,
Is
what?
that's getting a
isn't-
little crazy.
no, but isn't it like because The Sims isn't realistic at all? Isn't it?
It doesn't have to be realistic. That's the whole point. Is like you can simulate your own life how you want. Like I would say, Animal Crossing is a sim
Basically,
game.
your only choice is
Oh.
Gran Turismo. This is your only option.
I would say Roller Coaster Tycoon is a simulation game because you're simulating being a.
Honestly,
tycoon.
if this was my question, I might pick Roller Coaster Tycoon. That game is so fantabulous.
I thought it was,
I was gonna pick
something like
Euro
things
Truck
like-
Simulator or whatever.
Well, yeah, things like that, or like Ace Combat.
What's that?
You know,
what's
like,
that one game where you're just driving through the desert and your car
Desert
pitches
Bus?
left?
Desert Bus.
Desert Bus. Best simulation game ever.
I already know the simulation game I would pick. You guys probably know.
Well, I'm not asking, so
Well, all right. So
I mean, if you guys will allow it, that's going to be my choice.
we'll go
I
for
allow
it. Go
it.
for it. Yeah.
you got my vote.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Harvest Moon Back to Nature just because it was my first game of that ilk, and I don't know, I just have a lot of good memories of it. Replayed it many times, and yeah, it's fun. It's a good
All
game.
right. Cool.
Fun little game. Harvest Moon Back to Nature.
So what were you going to say, Nick?
MechWarrior.
If that fits
That's
your guys'
so
definition,
loosely, yeah. We're gonna have to put down some legislation on what's a simulation.
You're simulating being in a giant mech.
You're simulating doing any goddamn thing. It's a simulation game.
Doom is a simulator of
Yeah.
being a demon killer, killing
Yeah.
demons.
There you go.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right, so I've got best storyline in best storyline in a tower defense. But actually, you know
Wow.
what? I have a pretty good one for this.
Okay.
Defense Grid. Defense Grid is really cool because you're on
You picked the wrong one.
what? What would you pick?
Starflux Guard.
No,
Oh.
no,
Hey,
absolutely not.
It's not tower defense.
No, but best storyline in tower defense because best storyline, right?
Defense grid.
Best storyline in the tower defense, right? So yeah, defense grid. It's super cool because it's basic, right? But it's like you crash land on this planet, you find this AI, and you're trying to recover his memory cores and all that, and he has to keep them in like at his station, and so then these aliens are coming and they're trying to grab him and then take him away, and you're trying to stop them from doing that. But it's just like the voice acting for it's super cool. Like at every level has like a point, like you're doing it for a reason, and it's advancing some sort of part of the story. It's pretty cool.
Tower defense with a plot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
nice.
awesome.
I would pick Gem TD. You're a floating peon that runs around. Nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's a pretty great storyline. It takes about 3.5 seconds to explain. Red first.
Yep.
12.
1.
Worst storyline in an action adventure.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's doable.
Wow, it's actually kind of difficult. I'm trying to think of games that just have like complete POS storylines.
Just rock the boat, man. Uncharted 4.
I'm out.
oh man,
Zelda
yeah,
Ocarina of Time, terrible.
that would indeed light the entire world on fire. Wow, there's so many damn action adventure games. You know what? I'm just gonna re-roll the descriptor. So I'll keep action adventure games and I'll re-roll.
Okay,
the
so
other
re-rolling
one.
the award. All right.
Bugsy
All right.
3D.
What do we got?
18.
You sure?
Am I gonna be upset?
We all know 18, guys. Worst DLC.
Yeah.
In an action adventure game.
Why do we keep rolling 18?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some
There's
DLC.
some, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Not-
about
not
it. It's just
too
it's
many.
just kind of a tough one because there's.
Was there any
so
DLC
stinking
in Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah, but it was nothing that like changed anything about the game that I noticed.
Well, it's worst DLC.
I'm re-rolling again. I'm
All
using another
right,
one.
do it.
18.
Just
kidding.
Best game mechanic in an action adventure.
Ooh.
Okay, this is really easy actually.
Okay.
Gravity Gun, Half-Life 2.
Nice, perfect.
Okay, yeah.
What is that? That's an action adventure?
Technically,
Yeah,
anything
it's an
is
action adventure.
technically anything's an action.
Well,
adventure.
I guess yeah.
Well,
I mean,
an
would
adventure
you?
game is where you're going from point A to B with like never going anywhere else.
I guess
You're
so, but I'm
exploring,
pretty sure the action adventure part would
Well,
never
what
be
is
attributed.
an action adventure game?
Well, something
then?
like
Does it have to be third
like
person?
well, like Zelda. Yeah, maybe is it third? What do you
I
guys
don't.
think?
I don't think the person orientation should matter.
No,
as
no,
first
First
action.
person action adventure.
I think
just-
Half-Life 2 is an archetypical action adventure.
action
game.
adventure is a huge, broad term for
Yeah.
video games. So you're just lucky that you
Yeah.
got that.
So yeah, Gravity Gun, Half-Life 2. I mean, how many times has there been a horde of zombies coming at you, and you pick up a barrel full of oil and shoot it right at their faces, and they all burst into flame?
Yep.
Great.
Love it.
We all remember how that feels.
Totally. Okay. Cool.
10, 13.
Last turn, by the way.
Best multiplayer
I know.
So perfect.
in a tower defense. Best multiplayer
that's
in a
easy.
tower defense.
Yeah, there's
man.
actually anything.
super
Basically,
easy.
just say Warcraft 3.
yeah, right.
Which map in Warcraft 3?
Well, that's
Well, there's
it's
a bunch
your.
that require really cool teamwork.
Hold,
like there's,
hold on, Nick.
Yeah,
Best multiplayer in a tower defense. Come on.
like Bourbonog TD. Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out my best one.
Okay.
You know, I really like the first Winter Mall.
Yeah.
That was. Oh my God, the malls were the
So good.
best.
Simpsons Mall, Shopping Mall. You know, all
Yeah.
those ones. So good.
Those were incredible.
Was there seriously one called Shopping Mall, or are you being
Yeah.
silly?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like all the different races you can choose as, or different shops in the mall. And one
Oh,
of them's
wow.
like the sex shop, and like your starting tower is just like big old dildo. Naturally, because someone had to create a model for that and
Yeah.
import it into the map editor.
Yep.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
just that game. It requires everyone to be perfect.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome.
And then you could be at that skill level, or you could just you could get rid of all the top guys and just be like on the bottom.
God.
Take their kills to
Wow,
just
malls
farm.
were the best.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had so
They're
much
still
fun
worth
playing those.
I still have a bunch saved on my.
We got to
computer.
play it.
We should organize like a LAN party with those. Man,
Dude.
those were
I've been-
incredible.
I've been planning a Warcraft 3 revival for or just years. You know, always trying to get
it's
more
a
people back.
threevival.
The Warcraft 3 revival.
Yeah.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, nice, cool.
Cool.
Well, so I'm pretty sure we're all done. What do you guys say? Changing the rules next time to just one answer that you can't get, and then you're out.
Yeah.
And you get 2 rerolls, something like that.
This time, nobody wins. Everybody loses.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Yep.
Sound fair?
And again, remember, loser has to rate the other ones well on iTunes. So make sure to do that. All the losers will do it. You know, I'm sure the listeners will do it because they're good people. No.
I could never rate this podcast well on iTunes.
Never, not at all.
I can't bring myself to do it, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, dear friends.
Dear listeners. Well, I think that was a pretty solid episode of the LHG podcast.
I'm glad we could opine about Pokemon Go because that is the hottest topic around right now.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't pertain to like real world issues, of course.
I'm just I'm glad that we have Connor on the show because he uses the word opine.
You got their
My favorite kind of tree.
He's got that verbose vocabulary. Yeah, we're really curious to see how our picks, play out as the months go on. And
Can't wait to be the victor.
yeah, it'll be really interesting. Anyways, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the LHG podcast. Make sure to leave a comment, tell us what you thought of the game. Maybe leave some of your suggestions for your biggest picks.
And
Or rule changes.
I'm curious to see if you guys have any if you disagree with any of our rulings on the show about like different genres or what's allowed, what's not allowed. Just to see what you guys thought about the whole game, because we're definitely looking for some refinement notes.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
clearly had it totally nailed down
Yeah.
the last time.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Google.